Hey YouTube, it's Tyler the Antenna Man. In this video I'm going to be reviewing this Televes DiNova Boss Mix amplified outdoor TV antenna. It's a low profile antenna that has a built-in amplifier, LTE filter, and claims reliable reception within 60 miles of the broadcast towers. It's definitely low profile because you can barely see it with this temporary plain white background I have going on here. But overall, I'd say it's definitely a low profile antenna. If you're seeing me for the first time, make sure you hit that subscribe button and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Many of you may not know of the company Televes, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about them. For a while, I saw the name but didn't think much of them. I just kind of grouped them together with the generic brands like Ping Ding Bing, One by One, Boost Waves, because I really never heard of this company before, and I just thought it was, another dime a dozen Chinese company. As it turns out, Televes is actually a very large antenna company based out of Spain that has been around since the 1950s, just like other well-respected names like Channel Master and Winegard. The company is vertically integrated, meaning that they handle the design, manufacturing, testing, quality control, and distribution of their antennas without having to rely on an outside source. Getting back to the DiNova Boss Mix, the design is pretty good. The antenna came already pre-assembled, so I didn't really have to do anything to set it up. It came just like this, and it's pretty sturdy. It has some weight to it compared to most other small directional antennas. If you look closely here, this is where the mounting bracket goes that holds the antenna up when you mount it on a pole, and there really is a lot right here. It's not just one or two bolts and a bracket, it's this whole section here. So Televes definitely went a little overboard in terms of the mounting bracket, but I guess that's a good thing. A cool feature about this antenna is the built-in T-Force preamp. It automatically adjusts to conditions, something I'm not sure any other preamp does. A fixed gain preamp may over-amplify a strong signal or blow out a very weak signal. The T-Force preamp built into this antenna constantly adjusts the gain depending on the specific signal strength on a TV station coming into the antenna. So taking another look at this antenna, I'm going to show you all ends of it because it's a white antenna and I have a very plain white background. So hopefully here you can get an idea on exactly how the antenna looks from all angles. It has a single VHF dipole up here and then some UHF elements likely hidden in the casing. What is UHF and VHF? UHF has to do with TV stations that broadcast on channels 14 and above. They're typically picked up better with smaller elements, kind of like what would be inside here. And then VHF TV channels broadcast on channels 2 through 13, and they typically require a longer antenna element like this dipole here. So if you're seeing an antenna that does not have a long dipole, it's not going to pick up VHF TV stations well, such as flat antennas. A lot of people get flat antennas and they wonder why they have reception issues. It doesn't have any VHF elements. It's also important to note that most TV stations do not broadcast on the channel number you may know them as. So if you have a Fox 8 in your area and thinking, I need a VHF antenna, it's possible that they may be broadcasting on the UHF band. And the same can be said if you have an NBC 28 like the case in Scranton Wilkes-Barre and you're thinking it's on the UHF band. It's actually broadcasting on the VHF band and you need a dipole in order to pick it up. To find out what channels your local TV stations are broadcasting on, go to antennaweb.org, type in your address, and look for the RF channel number. The virtual channel is a channel that the station identifies as. So in my market, NBC 28 WBRE. But the RF channel is the channel that they broadcast on. Now take another close look at this antenna. Does it look familiar? When I first saw this antenna, it reminded me a lot of something that I've shown a lot on my YouTube channel that I tell people not to buy. You need a hint? It's almost like they look like cousins. Although this one is a lot heavier than this model, and I'm pretty sure this will withstand weather much more than this one. And this one is known to have a preamp that fails over time, and I'm going to get more into the preamp on this one to let you know that it's actually much better than this one here. How well does this model compare to other antennas though for an $80 price tag, built-in preamp, and LTE filter? I'm going to test out this antenna in the same location I've tested out various other outdoor antenna models on my YouTube channel. The TV stations are about 45 miles away, both on the VHF and UHF band. I also have some low-powered stations in my area that I'll be testing out. Keep in mind that this antenna claims a 60-mile range. Here's a list of the stations along with their RF channels and their signal strengths on the last two antennas I tested out on my YouTube channel. On the left side, you'll see the type of diffraction on the TV station. One edge means single edge diffraction, or one ridge between me and the transmitter weakening the signal. Two edge means two edge diffraction, or two ridges weakening the signal between me and the transmitter. LOS means line of sight with virtually no obstructions in the way. I'm also going to throw in the results of the antenna that I called its cousin. And if the Televes antenna was a real person, it would probably be very pissed off by now. You can also see the results of various other outdoor antenna models by checking out my other videos. The signal strength on WNEP, which broadcasts on UHF channel 50, was about the same on this antenna compared to the Clearstream 4 Max, and a little bit higher compared to the omnidirectional antenna. The signal strength on WYOU, which broadcasts on VHF channel 13, was about the same on this antenna compared to the last two models I tested out, and higher compared to the generic ping bing ding model, which had the signal cutting in and out. The signal strength on WBRE, which broadcasts on VHF channel 11, was higher on this antenna compared to the last two antennas I tested out, and much higher compared to the generic ping bing ding model, which was cutting in and out on this channel as well. The signal strength on Fox 56, which broadcasts on UHF channel 22, was about the same on this antenna compared to the Clearstream 4 Max, and higher compared to those other two models. The signal strength on Fox 29's repeater on UHF channel 25 was higher on this antenna compared to the last two antennas I tested out. It couldn't even be picked up by the ping bing ding model. The signal strength on NJTV's repeater station was about the same on this antenna compared to the other antennas I tested out, a little bit higher than the ping bing ding model, which had it dropping in and out. Overall, this antenna performed very well. Specifically, the signal levels on Fox 29's repeater station and WBRE were one of the highest signal levels I've seen on a small antenna like this. I also want to give props to Televes for not exaggerating the mileage claim on this antenna that a lot of other antenna companies seem to do. It's a small directional antenna, and it's going to work well probably within 60 miles of the broadcast tower without too much obstruction in between you and the transmitters. Now, I've seen many antennas out there claiming 80, 90, 100 miles, 150 miles, and they're small antennas just like this. Just as a note, you're not going to get TV stations reliably 150 miles away. The signals tend to fade over the horizon about 70 to 80 miles due to the curvature of the Earth. Yes, I said it, the curvature of the Earth. There's a few people that are going to dispute that, but that's the reason why there's no such thing as a 150-mile range antenna. I want to give props to Televes for being honest and saying that this antenna will work well within 60 miles of the broadcast towers. Of course, with many other factors involved, if you live in an area that has a lot of mountains and trees and hills, the 60-mile claim on this antenna may not work for you because you're going to have weak signals. You'll need a much larger antenna. Televes does have several other larger antenna models, which you can find in the description of this video. One cool feature I noticed about this antenna that I forgot to mention in the beginning of this video, hopefully too many people didn't X out already, but if you still stuck with me, you'll learn about this cool feature. It has passive pass-through on the amplifier, and what that does is it allows you to still get reception even when the amplifier isn't plugged in. This is a really cool feature that is rare to find. Most times if you have an amplifier or a junk antenna with a built-in amplifier, and either if the amplifier isn't plugged in or if it fails, it's known to fail on this model, you lose all reception. That's not the case with this antenna. So just to reiterate, this antenna comes with a built-in preamp that you don't have to worry about it failing, you losing all reception, output to 2 TV sets, and an LTE filter. I also really like the low profile design. You can barely see it when I have it against this very plain white wall. I promise I'm working on a fix. Give me about a month and I'll have something that looks better to present in my videos. This will definitely work well for those of you that are in a moderate to strong signal area within 50 to 60 miles of the broadcast towers. It's a nice low profile antenna that you don't have to worry about someone saying, I don't want that giant antenna on my roof. Oh, I can't even see this antenna. What antenna? Thanks again for watching my YouTube video. Stay tuned to my YouTube channel for more antenna reviews and hopefully a less plain setup coming soon. I just need to order a few more things and it'll look much nicer pretty soon. If you're on Facebook, like my Facebook page at facebook.com/antennamanpa. If you are not on Facebook and would like to receive email updates on when I post new videos, feel free to sign up to my email list. I attached a link in the description of my video. Thanks again for watching. Have an awesome day.